Oh man, so Koti and Algorand have both faked out from a bullish pattern which we observed yesterday, and now they're hovering precariously with some potential to move to the downside. So we need to watch out for this, guys. Let's head over to the charts to make sure we're prepared for this. Now, what we can see is, first of all, I want to zoom out and look at the weekly chart, because before we get into the hourly and the 4-hourly, I want to remind us of where we're at with these projects, because oftentimes we can get caught up in our smaller time frame charts that if we're longer term investors, we need to sometimes just zoom out. Now, naturally, if you're traders, you're going to want to just look at the hourly and 4-hourly charts, and we're going to get onto that in a second. But for those of you who are holding for a longer term basis, let's take a look at where we're at on, first of all, Algorand. So this is your weekly chart, and I always want to take out my EMA ribbon just to remind you guys of where we're at. So we had this initial move, we came sideways, we came back down, tested our EMA ribbon, and we had a massive pump up, guys. So we massively pumped up from the bottom there up to the top, over 200%. Okay, so you would have tripled your money there on your coins, and what we're looking at now is a little bit of a cooling off. This is a normal retracement, guys. We've not even come back down to test the top of the ribbon. Even if we got to here, a $1.33 Algorand on the weekly time frame, that would not concern me, because you could still bounce off of that and head higher and easily break all-time highs. So the weekly chart, I just want to remind you, this is very normal. And we've seen this with all coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. This is nothing to be worried about. When you've had a move of this kind of level, to get a retracement, it's very normal to see a retracement down, call it a correction, and then head back higher. Now, the good news is we're already seeing good solid defense of 150 of the $1.53 mark, and also now the $1.64 mark on Algorand. The prices are staying above these levels, and it's even at the moment trying to hold this 179 level, although we're just hovering below that at the moment. So a lot of strength for Algorand, because like I said, even if it came down to $1.33, that is completely healthy for Algorand and still bullish, because you wouldn't have lost the EMA. The moment you lose the EMA ribbon and you flip bearish on Algorand on the weekly time frame is 74 cents down here when you come and break the EMA and you head down bearish. Okay, so just wanted to remind you guys of that. Let's do the same thing for Koti. Now, the Koti is on the exact same thing. Okay, so you can see this on a weekly time frame. You can absolutely see that we are, exact same pattern as Algorand, extended sideways, went to test the EMA ribbon. We've tested it, and now we've had a massive run up. Again, let's take that from there all the way to the highs, and you're looking at 650% increase, right? You've had a 6.5x on your Koti. Koti was sitting, let's just put it into perspective. On that candle in July, Koti was sitting at 8 cents, guys. So if you guys bought in and you've held it for more than a few months, you're well into the money. So this kind of a retracement is normal. The people that this retracement is hurting are the people that have bought in here. And that's very normal, because a lot of people FOMO in here. But again, I wouldn't worry. Even if you got a retracement down, you have to, your portfolio will be a little bit red. But if you've got the conviction, you believe in the projects, it will just retrace back up and clear all-time highs, exactly as we saw with Algorand. Right. So with that said, let's head over into our 4-hourly chart. And let's clear that EMA ribbon. So what we can see is that we entered, let's go back a step here first. So we entered this wedge, we broke down from this wedge, okay? We then created a kind of W pattern / rounded bottom, and with a neckline here, although we got a fake out, okay? So we got a fake out. If I go to the hourly chart, this will be more obvious for you guys. Let's take a look. Let's just zoom us back out there. So you can see we almost created left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then we were expecting a breakout up to the upside, okay? You got the breakout, which would have triggered a lot of traders to enter, and then we got a fake out. Now, I want to spend a minute explaining why these fake outs happen. You got to remember the psychology of traders, right? Traders are all using these types of patterns to position their trades, okay? So a lot of people, when this green candle would have went in, start buying into their position. We've got a breakout on the neckline, we're buying the position, and we're going to go ride this to $2.05, which was the price target, right? Roughly, $2.06 up there. Now, what the sellers want to do is they know you're going to be there, and they'll trigger all your stop losses by throwing it back down, okay? So they sell, at this point, they're waiting here to sell. You're waiting to buy. They're waiting to sell. They have more strength, okay? And they then trigger all your stop losses, which would have been around here, and the price carries on down. That's the psychology, and that's why you get fake outs, okay? Really important that we understand that. Doesn't mean that the setup was wrong. It just means that at the moment, the bears are stronger than the bulls at this specific point. But the bulls will try again, right? And that's why we're seeing two good hourly candles here. We're seeing that we're trying to get a bounce back higher, back to the top of this wedge. And that's what we want to keep an eye on now. My downside risk on Algorand is we could come and test the bottom of the wedge at $1.64. Okay, that's my downside. Now, my upside is obviously we go back up, we test the top of the wedge. If we extend that line, if we can go back and test the top of the wedge again, then we can get a breakout to the upside of that wedge. That's what we'll have to look out for over the next few hours. Can we head back in this direction and try to get a breakout to the upside around here? Okay, so we want to see a bit of this and then head over to the upside. Okay, now your downside risk is obviously you can break down all the way down to this level here, which we'll have to keep an eye out on the $1.64 level. Again, nothing to be worried about on the long-term time frame. This is all, short-term swinging, but keep an eye on this if you're trading on the shorter time frames. Now, let's take a look at the same thing for COTI, and you can see it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, we identified this same pattern on COTI. Let's just zoom out here. You can see we created this almost a double bottom W pattern. Okay, and we had an indication of a price target towards 55. Exact same thing happened, guys. It's uncanny. You can see we broke the neckline, traders piled in, we got a good way to our price target. It reached 54. Our price target was at 55, right? So hopefully you would have scaled out half your position if you're trading this, because you should be scaling out on your way to the price target. And then you saw all the sell orders come in, right? The bears took strength and sent us straight back down into our channel. Now we got a green hour. We're fighting for this candle. Literally as we're speaking, it just ticked red. We're fighting for this hourly candle here to maintain this trend line. Again, my downside risk is at the bottom of the wedge at 46 cents. For COTI, my upside is still 55. If we can get back to the top of this wedge, I mean, if we extend this neckline, if we can get back to the top of this wedge and break out again, this time with more strength, we can still head it back up to 55 cents. So those are my price targets for COTI and Algorand. And please, guys, we've got to remember, you've got to take this into account with the wider crypto market. And that's why I'm going to show you the dominance yet again, because we can draw all the patterns we like. If Bitcoin is having a very strong moment and altcoins are weakening versus Bitcoin, then it's going to be very difficult for any altcoins, particularly things like Algorand and COTI, which aren't as strong as an Ethereum or Cardano, to show some strength, because they're not decoupled. To an extent, Solana and Ethereum, maybe Cardano, you can say can move on their own a little bit, but even they're pegged to Bitcoin and Bitcoin's movements. And right now, Bitcoin is on, from 19th of September when it broke out this downward channel, Bitcoin has been gaining strength on altcoins for over a month now, okay? So Bitcoin's really been rallying. We've seen the Bitcoin dominance go up by 13% versus altcoins. So now is definitely the time for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's knocking on the door of $60,000, and you're getting a lot of money moving out of altcoins into Bitcoin. But the beautiful thing is, as long as you've got your allocation in Bitcoin, you're not missing out, right? Because in Bitcoin terms, you're still gaining. And then when that momentum comes back out of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin starts going sideways or retracing back down, that money's going to flow back into your altcoins. So that's why I've always said, and it's not financial advice, these are beautiful times for you to be buying COTI and Algorand. We're going to laugh in a few months' time when we're saying, oh, we bought in this sideways channel here, and now everybody's FOMOing in when we go on our next parabolic run, because literally both these coins are moving sideways. I mean, look at the charts here. We've just had a massive run. We're just moving sideways, and that's why you've seen my buy box has been there for a long time now. That's where I've been happy to accumulate. If it goes further below, I'll buy more. But you can see we've just, I'm fully expecting it to come lower, but we've not, right? All we've done here on the longer term is retest the neckline from the cup and handle pattern. So on COTI, remember, on the daily chart, we had this cup and handle pattern. We broke out of it. We got rejected by 66, and now we're just retesting the top of the cup and handle pattern, right? If I clear all my drawings to make it clearer, that's the neckline of your cup and handle pattern. So if I draw that there, you can see all we've done is just come and retest that, and then you can get a bounce back off higher. Okay, so this is actually still a bullish setup until you break down into this territory, right? If we get into 40s and 40 cents here, then you're starting to lose the cup and handle shape, and it's not a retest, but you can start heading to the downside. So on the daily chart, let's just take out Let's take out our EMA ribbon. Let's bring that back out, and you can see, look, when we've not penetrated, we're still very bullish on the EMA ribbon. We've just come back to test it, guys. A little bit of a cooling off, and this is plenty of room to head higher. That, tied in with the fundamentals on both Koti and Algorand, should give you confidence that these are two projects that are here to stay. Obviously, if you're trading on a day time frame or hourly time frame, that is different. You have to play your patterns. You have to understand what's going on in the markets, set your stop losses, allocate the risk you're looking to allocate, and then obviously play the trading game. And if you're not experienced at doing so, please be very careful. You guys know that for inexperienced people, I'm a big proponent of holding for the long term. Find your high conviction plays and hold for the long term. If you've got a little bit of budget on the side that you want to do some trading, like I do sometimes, I see a pattern, I feel like trading it, I'll go ahead and do that. But majority of my portfolio is tied into long-term investments because I don't want to miss out on these pumps. The market is so volatile, and anybody who tells you they know exactly when Bitcoin's going to pump, they're not telling you the truth. Okay, guys? Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Hope that gives you a good insight into how Algorand and Koti are hovering at this precarious level, but in the great scheme of things on the weekly pattern, we're still in a great position on both those projects. If you like this type of video, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want me to do a breakdown of any of your favorite coins or projects, then become a member of the channel. There'll be a join button below. Click join and you'll get access to our members only community where you can ask those questions and I'll try my best to answer them over there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.